Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And a very warm welcome to meditation and Murakabah. History has always revealed a pattern within human nature. Whenever the world enters moments of tension, uncertainty and fear, people begin to search for signs. They look to the sky, to nature, to unusual events, trying to find meanings in what they see. It is as if the human heart, when overwhelmed, seeks reassurance in symbols. In recent days, many have been sharing images and videos of large gatherings of crows appearing over areas in Israel, and quickly interpretations have followed. Some describe it as a warning, others call it a curse, and many believe it is a divine sign. But before accepting such claims, a believer must pause and ask a deeper question. What does Islam actually teach us about such occurrences? Is this truly part of our deen? Or is it something inherited from culture and customs? Is it knowledge or is it fear? Is it rooted in revelation or in assumptions that people have passed over time? Have such signs ever been clearly established in our tradition? Or are we trying to give meaning to what we do not fully understand? At this moment, the believer must step back from emotions and return to guidance, because Islam does not leave us in confusion. It gives us clarity. It teaches us not to chase signs in the sky, but to anchor our hearts in the Qur'an and the Sunnah. It reminds us that not everything unusual carries a hidden message, and not every striking event is a divine signal. Sometimes the real test is not what we see, but how we choose to understand it. Islam in its wisdom removes superstition and replaces it with clarity. The teachings of the Prophet ﷺ guides us away from attaching unseen meanings and natural events. As narrated in Sahih Al-Bukhari, Hadith number 5757 and 5707, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ made it clear that there is no bad omen in birds. La tayyara. This principle is profound, as it protects the believer from fear, speculation and misinterpretation. Birds do not carry curses, nor do they determine the fate of nations. They are simply creations of Allah, moving with natural order that He has designed. This guidance extends beyond birds to all natural phenomena. Now, throughout history, people have associated unusual events such as changes in color of the moon, eclipses, or disturbances in the sky with the death of great individuals, or as a sign of impending calamity. However, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ firmly corrected these beliefs. When a solar eclipse occurred at the time of the passing of his son Ibrahim radiyallahu anhu, people began to say that the sun had darkened because of his death. The Prophet ﷺ, when he came to know of it, he immediately addressed this misconception and clarified that the sun and the moon are signs of Allah, and they do not eclipse due to the life or death of anyone. This is authentically recorded in Sahih Al-Bukhari, Hadith number 1043 and 1044. In doing so, he dismantled superstition and restored intellectual and spiritual clarity. Through many such teachings, Prophet ﷺ consistently redirected people away from superstition and towards tawakkul, trust in Allah. He taught that events in the universe follow the command and wisdom of Allah alone, not human affairs or symbolic interpretations. This protects the believer from falling into fear-driven narratives and ensures that faith remains rooted in revelation rather than assumptions. Now, interestingly, the Qur'an itself mentions a crow, but not in a context of punishment or curse. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes how a crow was sent to teach Qabil how to bury his brother. The crow, therefore, appears in the Qur'an as a source of learning and reflection, not as a symbol of destruction. This alone shifts our entire perspective. What we may assume to be a sign of negativity may actually be a reminder of human responsibility and humility. From a worldly perspective, there are also many natural and observable reasons why crows may gather in large numbers in a particular area, even if it appears unusual to us. Crows are amongst the most intelligent and adaptive birds in the world, known for their strong social behavior and ability to move in large flocks, sometimes numbering in hundreds and sometimes even in thousands. In many regions, they follow seasonal patterns, returning to certain locations at specific time of the year for roosting or migration, as it also it is also well documented that crows are highly sensitive to food availability, and areas affected by disruption, such as conflict zones, may unintentionally create conditions where food sources may become more accessible. With their sharp instincts and strong sense of awareness, they are naturally drawn to such environments. In addition, changes in weather patterns, temperature shifts, or environmental disturbances can influence their movement, causing them together to relocate in noticeable ways. Urban expansion, noise, or even light pollution can also redirect their usual routes, leading to sudden and dense gatherings that may seem extraordinary to the human eye. What we perceive as a rare or unprecedented may simply be a combination of natural behaviors aligning at a particular moment. Thus, while such senses may appear dramatic or symbolic, they often have explanations rooted in the natural order created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, understanding this allows the believer to remain grounded, appreciating the complexity of the creation without rushing to attach meanings that are not supported by knowledge or revelation. This is where the real lesson begins. The event itself is not the test, rather our interpretation of it. Do we allow fear and speculation to shape our understanding, or do we anchor ourselves in faith and in clarity? Islam redirects our attention away from external signs and towards internal reflection. Instead of asking what the crows mean, the believer is encouraged to ask more meaningful questions. Are we upholding justice? Are we protecting the oppressed? Are we maintaining patience? And are we placing our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Imran that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports a people, none can overcome them. And if He withdraws His support, none can help them. This divine principle teaches us that victory and loss are not determined by signs in the sky, nor by power, nor by how strong a worldly army could be, but by the will of Allah. It is in this light that a well-known saying finds its true meaning. If Allah is on your side, the whole world stands against you. No one can harm you. This is not merely a comforting statement, but a reflection of a profound Quranic reality. Now, in the end, crows do not bring curses, nor do they decide destinies. They are simply part of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, moving as they are commanded. The real message is not written in the sky, but within the hearts of the believers. It is a reminder to remain grounded, to seek truth over speculation, and to strengthen one's faith in times of uncertainty. May Allah grant us clarity over confusion, faith over fear, and the ability to see truth beyond appearance. Wa akhiru da'wana walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.